Well, hello. That didn't work. We're back in my room, climbing over the bed. Oh my god, I lost the slipper. I'm back. It is not the temperature to be losing slippers. Cheers, everyone. I've been making iced lattes that have honey and vanilla and a little bit of salt in through a sugar syrup, and they are just delicious. When I say sugar syrup, I mean unrefined sugar syrup, because honey doesn't count. Because you know what I've been doing for the last month? Trying to cut out refined sugar from my diet. Spoiler alert, turns out it's in everything, which I think we all already knew, but let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. Thanks for coming and having a chat with me. Let's enjoy a coffee and talk about a month of no refined sugar. Honestly, this is one of the best drinks I think I've ever made. On this thing over here, I have a load of goals for 2026. There's 24 squares that I can put on that sheet. 4 of them say 1 month, no processed sugar. My aim in those months was to be as clear of processed sugar as I physically could. Not eating chocolate, sweets, crisps, all the usual suspects. But then when you really start looking into it, you realise that sugar is in absolutely everything. If it's pre-packaged or pre-made in some way, shape or form, it's probably got sugar in it. Now, it's not like I didn't know this. I have done no refined sugar challenges, I guess, before. But I wanted this resolution to be more in the spirit of making better choices for myself and my body. There's loads of videos out there of people strictly cutting refined sugar out of their diets for a month, 2 months, 6 months, and showing you the pros and the cons of the process. Of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about that because there are definite pros and cons to this process. But the way I wanted to attempt to do this was in the spirit of a vegan who eats bacon. If you're a vegan but you eat bacon, you are like 95% vegan. And that for you is a great choice, but you still want to enjoy bacon some of the time. If I am someone who enjoys sugary treats, and I know that I do, my God, I love a pastry. Rather than me enjoying them all of the time, giving myself a little bit of time off of those things for my body, because I know that they are not the best for me, is never a bad thing. And to do that for 4 months of the year means that for at least a third of the year, I am trying to cut down my refined sugar consumption. And I think that that is a perfectly good amount of progress to make rather than eating an almond croissant every day, which, left to my own devices, I know I will do. I am a sugar addict, not so much in sweets or squishy things, but those Haribo nostalgics have me in a bit of a chokehold, man. They are delicious. Chocolate, cakes, biscuits, pastries. My mouth is watering at the thought. They are such a comfort to me. We were brought up as kids that a drink and a biscuit was a treat. It was the thing we got to do where me and my brother would sit up at our little breakfast bar and spend some time together eating a snack of a biscuit and having a drink and having a little chat with my mum. That was how we were rewarded. And as a 40-year-old woman, I still can't get out of that mindset. A little treat is such a treat for me. It is a reward for working hard and being good and generally getting through this life. No great surprise that I have had a lot of issues with emotional eating, and look, we're working on that in therapy. That's for another video. Trying to cut out processed sugar and my love for it is something that I think is just a good muscle to flex, and it's a good thing to work on. The one thing I let myself have if I desperately needed something was a Diet Coke. Technically, that does not have sugar in it. It has sweetener in it. But I have tried to stay away from sweeteners as well. Make more of my meals rather than use pre-packaged meals, though there are some great pre-packaged things now that are targeted towards low sugar and no sugar. I did this challenge for myself start of 2020 really. I came off sugar and alcohol, and I did that successfully for 3 months, and then we went into lockdown and I started eating chocolate and drinking gin again because the world was on fire, so why wouldn't I? Back then, really, if you wanted anything that didn't have sugar in it, you were making it yourself. Now there are so many more alternatives. I went to Lidl looking for some kind of granola. I thought I was going to have to make my own, and they have a whole low sugar and no sugar granola option section. Oh God, hang on. I don't want all the ice to melt. So, I honestly can't tell you how good it is. I'll leave a little recipe for the syrup and how I make it below. It's just like sunshine in a cup. Anyway, did I find it hard? It's less that it's hard, it's more that it's inconvenient because sugar is everywhere. You just can't get away from it. And being someone who lives a busy life, I will often reach for a ready meal or grab a pre-prepared lunch when I'm in the office because that's ease. Whereas I have had to be more prepared. I've been making my breakfasts in order to take them into work. I make overnight oats. I really like it. It's not that I feel like I'm missing out on something. Those breakfasts are really tasty. Again, mouth-watering thinking about them. I have eaten today. As someone who eats sugar regularly, to then extract it from your diet, in that first week, I was kind of tired. There was one day where I had the most intense headache. However, I would have headaches regularly whilst eating sugar. And whilst I haven't been eating sugar, I haven't had a lot of headaches. I do genuinely also think that my energy has leveled out a lot. I'm still drinking caffeine, still drinking coffee, but for the majority of times when I'm kind of on my way into the office or making coffee at work, I cut out putting sugar in it. A little iced moment that I make at home where I know what kind of sugar has gone into that is the kind of sugary coffee that I have been letting myself have. The booze stuff I haven't really missed. I'm not all that bothered about alcohol. There was a day where I went and met my friend Mark for coffee. We went for a wander around Islington and he was like, I thought we could go to Popham's. This is a bakery I have wanted to go to for the last couple of years and have just never made it. So I was like, yeah, let's go. But whilst we were there, they had almond croissants, which is my kryptonite. I love them. And I bought one. In my brain, I was like, it's not the worst thing in the world if you eat that croissant today. It doesn't mean that the resolution is over. It doesn't mean you've spoiled anything. I was determined to not give myself a hard time about it. I have more willpower a lot of the time than I think I do. And I carried that almond croissant around with me for the rest of the day that I was with Mark. I came home, I put it in a Ziploc bag. I wrote on it what it was. It's gone in the freezer. As of today, I can have that as a little treat whenever I want it. And now I've got a Popham's Bakery almond croissant to try. I didn't cave. There have been times that I have caved. There have been 4 days out of the entire 28 that I knowingly ate processed sugar in things like I got a McDonald's on the way home from a gig, or my friend at work was leaving and our tradition was to split a Kit Kat between the two of us. It was his last day at work. We had one Kit Kat left. So I shared the Kit Kat with him. I wasn't going to let 1 or 2 moments where I chose that was the thing I genuinely wanted to do say that I had failed, because I don't believe that I have. 1, I'm making it up for myself. This is absolutely my own enforced rules of what a no processed sugar month means to me. But for me, the majority of the month being as low and no processed sugar as possible, it's an absolute win, and therefore I'm giving myself the gold star on that sticker chart. I think doing this again has generally taught me that there are a lot of alternatives that I can eat that do give me that sugar kick but make me feel less bad about it. Cotton candy grapes, man. Cotton candy grapes and king cherries are just absolute peak, like pinnacle of the fruit world when it comes to saving my bacon from diving into the kind of chocolate box. There are also chocolate alternatives that you can get that are made of coconut sugar, which is not considered a refined sugar. It's considered a natural sugar. And I didn't eat too much of those, but I did have them on hand in the cupboard. My thought process was, I don't need to eat them every day. In the same way that I don't really need to eat chocolate every day, but you just get into the habit of doing it and having those little sugar hits and that dopamine release of those sugar hits. So all of this is trying to retrain my brain into some better habits for me to take forward. I've got no processed sugar on that board 4 times, like I said. So 4 months across this year. I'm not going to go straight into doing another processed sugar-free month, but I do want to be really aware of how this month makes me approach next month. You know, I want to make better choices for me and my body as I'm getting older. I think it's just reminded me that I do feel good when I don't eat sugar, and that I don't need to rely on eating sugar to process my emotions in the same way that I did even a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm not going to lie. Therapy has massively helped me with my emotional eating and helping me develop tools in my toolbox to deal with stress or hard times without just reaching for chocolate. I will say, speaking as a woman, hormone cycles and certain times of the month when I am cruising towards being on my period, 100% when my energy is low and your emotions are high, 2 of the days that I caved on this challenge were within that period. One thing I did notice was on one day, I'm salivating thinking about it. It just shows me what an absolute food addict I am, if anything else. On one day I had a Five Guys and I got myself a little mini milkshake, and it was genuinely, besides this, it was one of the best drinks I've had in a really long time. Strawberry peanut butter is what I go for, if you're wondering. 2 days later, I got a Nando's because I couldn't be bothered to cook last weekend. But I got chocolate cake and I didn't massively enjoy it. I didn't feel great after it. And I think there was something to be said for, I just wanted to order it and have the agency of, I'm going to eat some chocolate cake and fuck it for this little moment in time. I just needed that more than I needed the chocolate cake, if I'm honest. So that is something that I really want to remember as I go forward into the next few months. I always have the agency to make the decisions that I want to make for myself. I am a single woman in my 40s. I literally just have me to worry about and make my own decisions for. On one hand, I can choose the chocolate cake, but I don't always have to choose the chocolate cake. And I think that's the point. I feel good for doing it. I'm glad I did it. I'm definitely going to do it again. And I may try and be a bit stricter about it as I go into, I think I'm maybe going to try and do it again in May. I don't want to do it over Easter. I want an Easter egg. I think this challenge has made me think about being more prepared. I'm definitely going to be making breakfast more often rather than just buying almond croissants on the way into the office because it's easy. Don't get me wrong, I love an almond croissant, even from Pret. In fact, Pret almond croissants are one of my favourite because they kind of stay doughy in the middle. Sarah, stop spiralling into thinking about almond croissants. I certainly want to be making sure that I take some of the things I've learned about feeling good by not eating as much processed sugar. What the big corporations don't want to say is we put sugar in everything because it's addictive and because you all love it. And we do. I love it. But I also know it's not so good for me. I just need to keep that in mind. Have you ever done a no sugar free moment? Are you no sugar generally in your life, or does it not bother you? What other vices have you cut out? I would love to know. That's what I wanted to have a little ramble about this week. I hope, if anything, it was useful, helpful, some sort of entertaining, just good background noise. If you've got me on in the background, if you're doing your ironing, hello. I hope it's going well. If you like this video, please do like this video. Give it a little thumbs up. I forget to say this at the end so often. And if you dig me or anything that I've been making, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. I've had a few new subscribers over the last week or so. Hello to you, if you are new. Also had a man asking in the comments if I would like a human dog to take on walks, which was interesting, but I'd probably just prefer a regular dog, if I'm honest. But maybe fetishes are a whole other video. Time to go. I've got to drink this and then get on the road. Have a wonderful week, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye. It's so good. It's so good. I can't.